It was a quiet Saturday morning at the city park. Children's laughter echoed through the air and families gathered to enjoy the sunlight. Among them was a little girl, no more than 6 years old, sitting alone on a park bench clutching her doll with trembling hands. Her eyes darted around nervously, tears threatening to spill down her cheeks. The girl was clearly terrified, lost in a sea of strangers. But what no one knew was that she wasn't just any child. She was the daughter of a powerful millionaire CEO, a man known in the business world for his brilliance and in the tabloids for his cold, untouchable demeanor. And yet, at that moment, the child wasn't the daughter of wealth or power. She was simply a scared little girl in need of comfort. That was when Anna, a young woman in her early 20s, noticed her. Anna was a nanny. Not wealthy, not glamorous, just a hard-working girl trying to make ends meet. Life had never been easy for her. She worked long hours caring for other people's children, while barely scraping together enough to pay rent for her tiny apartment. Still, she had a gift, a heart full of kindness and the ability to see when someone needed love. Anna walked gently toward the girl, kneeling so she wouldn't frighten her. "Hey, sweetheart," she said softly, her voice like a warm blanket. "Are you okay? Where's your mommy or daddy?" The little girl sniffled, clutching her doll tighter. I don't know. I can't find him." Anna's heart broke. She sat beside the child, offering her hand. "It's okay. You're not alone now. My name's Anna. What's yours?"
"Lily,"
the girl whispered.
Lily.
Anna repeated with a smile. "That's such a pretty name. You know what? I think your daddy's looking for you right now, but until he finds you, I'll stay right here. No one's going to hurt you." For the next 20 minutes, Anna distracted Lily with games, songs, and gentle laughter. She told her stories about fairies who always found their way home, about brave little girls who weren't really as scared as they thought. Slowly, Lily's tears dried. Her shoulders relaxed. She even giggled once when Anna pretended the doll was whispering secrets. Anna didn't notice the tall man in a suit standing under a tree, watching every moment. His name was Richard Hale, CEO of one of the largest tech companies in the country, and Lily's father. Richard had been frantic moments earlier when he realized his daughter had wandered out of sight. But as he stood there, frozen, he witnessed something that shook him more than any business deal or corporate takeover ever could. A stranger, an ordinary nanny, had given his child what money could never buy: comfort, safety, love. When Richard finally stepped forward, Lily ran into his arms, squealing, "Daddy!" He hugged her tightly, then looked at Anna. "You stayed with her?" His voice was deep, commanding, but also uncertain. Anna stood quickly, embarrassed. "Yes, sir." She was scared. "I couldn't just leave her alone." Richard studied her for a long moment. He was used to people knowing who he was, chasing him for favors or attention. But this young woman, she didn't seem to recognize him or care. She cared only about Lily. "Thank you," he said quietly. "You have no idea what that means to me." Anna smiled shyly. Any parent would have done the same, but that wasn't true, and Richard knew it. In his world of wealth and power, kindness without expectation was rare. Over the next days, Richard couldn't get Anna out of his mind. He replayed the image of Lily smiling in her company. For the first time in years, his daughter had laughed without fear. A week later, he arranged to meet her again. He discovered she was a nanny working 3 jobs, struggling to pay rent. She never complained, never asked for more. She just wanted to take care of children. Richard was moved. For the first time, he felt his own wealth meant nothing compared to the richness of her heart. So he made a decision. He offered Anna a job, not just as Lily's nanny, but as someone who would become part of their family. At first, Anna hesitated. She didn't want pity or charity, but Richard insisted. "This isn't charity. It's what's best for Lily. She needs you." Anna accepted, and from that day forward, Lily's world changed. She blossomed under Anna's care, laughing, playing, even sleeping without the nightmares that had haunted her since her mother's passing. But something else happened too. Richard began to change. The cold, distant CEO slowly softened. He spent more evenings at home watching Anna and Lily play. He learned to laugh again. He learned what love looked like, not in boardrooms or business meetings, but in bedtime stories and shared dinners. There were challenges, of course. Richard's wealthy friends whispered, criticizing his choice of hiring just a poor nanny. Reporters tried to spin stories, mocking the CEO who trusted his child to someone so ordinary. But Richard didn't care. For once in his life, he put his family before his reputation. And Anna? She faced her own doubts. Could a poor nanny truly belong in the world of millionaires? She often felt like she didn't deserve her place in their home. But every time Lily held her hand, every time Richard thanked her with quiet sincerity, she knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. Months later, Richard called Anna into his office at home. He told her something that brought her to tears. "You saved my daughter that day at the park," he said. "But you saved me too. I didn't realize how empty my life had become. You gave us back something I thought we'd lost forever. Love, laughter, family. I can never repay that." Anna's eyes welled up. "You don't need to repay me. Lily's smile is enough." But Richard shook his head. "It's not enough. Anna, you're not just a nanny anymore. You're family." The story ends with Lily running into Anna's arms, giggling while Richard watches with a smile. The millionaire CEO who once believed money could solve everything had finally learned the most important lesson. True wealth is not measured in riches, but in love, kindness, and the people who touch our lives when we least expect it.